RawChaa Yahawah, BaHaSham Yahawashi, BaHaSham Qadash. Double honors to the other apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, for teaching His word in truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, and peace and salutations to the sincere Akim that's pushing His word in truth and sincerity. To USA Shalom. Trump administration bypasses Congress to approve $151 million bomb sale to Israel amid war with Iran. The Trump administration has approved an emergency weapons sale to Israel, allowing the transfer of 12,000 bombs valued at more than $151 million, while bypassing the normal congressional review process, according to a State Department notice. Secretary of State Marco Rubio determined that the ongoing war involving Israel and Iran constitutes an emergency that requires immediate military support. The declaration also, the declaration allows the administration to waiver the standard congressional notification period that typically applies to foreign military sales under the U.S. law. Major weapons transfers are normally reviewed by Congress before they are finalized. However, administrations from both political parties have occasionally used emergency authorization to move arms sales more quickly when officials believe urgent national security interests are involved. You see how they bow down and bend over for these small hats, right? And that's how you know that these top wicked elites, these Amalekites, which is the head of the Esau Edom nation, they have a foothold here in Babylon. Salakia, they have a foothold here in Babylon. And that all these people that you see on the right and the left, red and blue, they are nothing more but sock puppets. They're hand puppets, man. You know, they don't have a mind of their own. They don't run this country, man. Them small hats run this country. And it's evident, man, because they done dragged Babylon into a war that they know they can't win. Because you have to see that you're not just going against Iran. You're going against the BRICS, you know, and all the BRICS nations are those that don't deal with the U.S. You got Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and then you got a slew of other countries that's getting involved, you know, because they tired of dealing with the U.S. They tired of dealing with Babylon. Babylon and their high interest rates, Babylon and their sanctions, Babylon and their, and their theft, robbery, murder. When they move, you know what I'm saying, when they come into a country, you know, when you watch Iran, what they're doing, man, they taking down a whole bunch of U.S. spots, man. That's in these that they done supplanted in these different areas, you know, and it's, you know, good, man, good. Exhort all, make Babylon and these clowns exhort all their resources, man. You know, let them exhaust all their resources trying to battle this. You know, that just makes the Lord, you know what I'm saying, that just make the Lord's time frame, you know what I'm saying, move that little, you know what I'm saying, move that much faster. You know what I'm saying? The Lord got the spirit on these people to do what they're doing. They don't do none of this on their own accord, you know. So it's like I said, it's interesting to watch. It's interesting to watch and see what they're going to do next. See what spirit the Lord put on them to do next. You know. So throughout this whole little chaos, and it seemed like it's been more than a week. They'll be going into the second week, and it seemed like it's been like a month they've been doing this. You know. But because there's so much different news that's coming out about this thing, and we're watching Babylon crumble, man. We watching Babylon crumble, man. We watching them bow down and get, you know what I'm saying, and get their backside smashed in by you know what I'm saying, by them tiny tops, man, by them small hats, man. Cause they some worthless pieces of shit, man. Straight up. If you don't see it, then shame on you. If you don't see it, then oh well, you know. But these are the most worthless people on the planet, man. And they come in the guise of, you know, biblical. They come in the guise of being, you know, scriptural, and none of that shit is scriptural, man. None of this shit they doing is scriptural, you know. They're Talmudian bastards. That's what they are, man. You know. That was just one article, you know. There's so many different articles that came out, you know. And the funniest one was, to me, it was funny because Nero was like, "Yo, man, we should sit down and talk about this, man. Come to some type of peace agreement." Then Iran was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." Then Iran came back and was like, "Yo, let's sit down and talk." You know what I'm saying? Let's sit down at the table and talk about it. Then Nero was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." So, you know, it's a game these people are playing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like war games is war games. This is a game these people are playing, man. The longer a war is dragged out, and that's the more money these small hats is making, man. You know what I'm saying? If anybody can catch that flick, the House of Rothschild or the house. Yeah, the House of Rothschild, or the house that Rothschild built. I forget the name of it at the moment, but you find that movie, it'll tell you exactly how these people move. These people are slimy, man. They're slime buckets, man. They're a bucket of slime, man. You know what I mean? They're a whole barrel of feces. But this is another article. I'm not gonna go through all these articles. You know, I'm just gonna read the titles and maybe a paragraph or two. With this one, it says, terrifying moment, cluster bombs rain down on Tel Aviv, and Iran launches barrages of ballistic missiles in the latest blitz. Yo, man, the funny thing is, man, they thought Iran was soft, man. That's what they thought, man. They thought they was gonna go in there and run them over. But see, the funny thing is, them tiny tops knew that shit. That's why they ain't do it on their own. You know, they knew them people wasn't soft, but you know, they got Nero thinking all stupid and shit. They got them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, these people are soft, man. We can go ahead and just, you know what I'm saying, get at them and get what we want out of them. Nah, they not about to let you do that, man. They're not about to let you do that. And Russia not about to let you do that. China is not about to let you do that. So the least of the flock shall draw them out, man. That's them tiny tops, man. You know, you know what I'm saying? They're the smallest group of people, but they cause the most havoc on the planet, man. This is another little article. I'll just read a little bit. Iran's deputy foreign minister just warned Europe to stay out of the conflict, but one move by the EU knaves could change everything. Iran has issued a stark warning to European nations as tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate. Tehran says any European Union country that joins the United States and Israel in military action against Iran would immediately become a target for retaliation. So, man, we entering into WW3, man. This the you know what I'm saying? Like, we are watching WW3 develop. You know, we're about to watch Babylon exhort all its resources, you know, and trying to you know, maintain their image. And the people that's going to pay for it is, you know, quote unquote citizens of Babylon, man. You know, the people that reside in Babylon, they're the ones that are going to suffer, man. You know, and through all that nonsense that's going on, you know, they're talking about different hotspots that could be targets for nuclear strikes, you know, nuclear strike targets, you know, with NYC being one of those major spots, man. You know, you got major cities throughout Babylon, man. But you know, focuses on NYC. You know, I'm pretty sure you got focuses on, like, you know, DC, Chicago, you know, over there in Cali, Texas, Miami. You know, the North Carolina, these places are North Carolina is just, you know, they have a lot of nuclear spots over there, man, like reactors and stuff. You know, they got nuclear plants and they got a lot of them. So do New York, you know. I believe Pennsylvania has a few too, you know. A lot of these places have like these huge nuclear reactors, these huge nuclear plants, you know, and they're targets, man. These places are targets, man. But see, this is the beauty of the Lord right here, man. It's the beauty of Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. He sets all these things up, man. And these people don't even know that they're set up to do these things, man. They think they're moving off their own accord, you know, which makes it, like I said, it's real interesting to watch. This is Proverbs 16:4 in the Amplified Bible. The Lord, Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, has made everything for its own purpose, even the wicked according to their role for the day of evil. So, you know, these people think that they're doing everything on their own accord. They think they're making their own moves. They think they wake up with these bright ideas. Nah, man. This is the idea that the Lord put in your head, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is setting you up and you don't even know it. You don't even see it. The Lord is setting you up for the big takedown, man. He's setting you up for the big payback, man. This is Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hands of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord. Saith the Lord of hosts. Saith the Lord Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. Saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi of hosts. So, you know, you're about to see a whole lot of mourning and woeing and complaints, and you're about to see people go through agony, man, because they're underneath a cruel Lord, man. That cruel Lord, man, is Nero, you know, who's being advised by these tiny tops, who's being advised by the wicked elite. You know, it's a trickle-down effect of Edomite bullshit, you know. But, you know, all those, you know, MAGA bastards, you know, you gonna face it too, man. You know, you're gonna realize that you at the bottom of the barrel too, man. And you were just being played. You were just being used, you know. This is Psalms 64:8. So they shall make their own tongues, Salakia, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Man, ain't nobody, ain't no, you know what I'm saying, ain't no country trying to align themselves with these Edomites, man. Even though you have, you know, Russian, you know, they Russian, you know, in the EU, man, they Edomites as well. But, you know, these people are trying to flee away from Babylon and them tiny tops, man. They're not trying to stick around for this shit because they know they lying. They know they all full of bullshit. They know they full of lies and deceit, you know. Even though they the same people, man. But they ain't, you know, they on another continent, man. They ain't got to deal with this, you know. So they just looking at it as like, yo, we got your back until we can't, you know. But everybody sees the lies, you know. The world see the lies. The world is watching you being exposed through your own device that the Lord's put on you to create the internet, you know. So everybody sees you, man. You can't hide no more. You can't hide in the shadows, and you can't sit there and be on some blame it on the next man. The world see it, man. And then you got people out here. The Lord put the spirit on these people to do their own investigative, detective work. So now they out there reporting, reporting your crimes as well, man. You just can't give one side of the narrative and keep it like that. Nah, you got people out here doing the work, and they're bringing out all your faults. They got your dirty laundry, man, and they airing it out for you. This is Psalms 58, verse 2. Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Who's the most wickedest, most violent person, group of people on the planet, man? It's Esau, man. It's the Edomites, man. They the only ones that take natural resources, man, and weaponize it, man. It's Edomites, man. Like, they the only ones that think of using things to hurt people, man. Some people use it as entertainment. Some people use things to like uranium and plutonium. They'll use that, for energy sources, to heat their homes and create technologies, I guess to make life easier, if you could say so. Edomites are the only ones that'll take that and weaponize it and try to destroy people with it, and knowing that the outcome you're destroying land as well. If you take a look at Chernobyl, man, that land still ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So that land is still radiated. What is it, Hiroshima? Still radiated, man. You got a lot of places that they done touch, man, and it just can't be habitable, man. Even though you have some people might be living in those around or surrounding areas, but those direct lands that they touch, man, with those nukes, man, it just is not inhabitable, man. They the only people that will cut down trees, man, to make damn notebooks and pencils, man. So they're the only ones that dump their garbage in the water so you can't drink it. These people are wicked, man. And their violence is evident, man. Their violence is shown throughout their history, man. But the Lord had to create them, man. Just to show the world how evil a group of people could actually be, man. And I can't wait for the Lord to take them out, man. Put them in captivity, man. This is verse 3. The wicked are strayed from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's who else is that, man? What group of people have taken the Bible, profaned it in the manner that they did, by taking it out of the Hebrew, putting it in the English, taking away the names, and putting all these bogus bullshit names in it, Who else would say that they're the people, knowing that they're not? These people are wicked, man, from the day they are born. They are wicked, man, speaking lies. This is Joel 3 and 2. I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and have parted my land. The valley of Jehoshaphat. That's Yahawashi. That's down in what you would call the Middle East. And that's where, that's where that battle is going to take place, man. That's the focus right now, man. That's the focus of the battle, man. When them nations from the north come down, that's where they're going to be at, man. They're going to be down in that area, man. So, and It is Esau, Edom, spearheaded by Amalek, who have scattered the Lord's people, took them away from their heritage, which is this Bible, which is their history, their heritage, their culture, their language is all there. They took it all away to write it in English, So these people have done a travesty, a great atrocity to the nation of Israel. And they got to pay for that, man. They got to pay for that with their blood, sweat, and tears, man. Amalek is like I said, man, Amalek is the worst piece of shit on this planet, man. Them small hats, man. Everywhere they go, man, they like cockroaches, man. They're an infestation, man. And once you get one in there, then you can't get rid of them, man. But the Lord know how to. Lord know how to get rid of them, man. He gonna get rid of them with fire, You know what I'm saying? He gonna put their asses into captivity. They gonna work their asses off for 1,000 years, and they gonna put his ass. They gonna set him on fire, man. He gonna burn him up, man. Put him down in that pit where you burn your garbage, and they gonna go up in flames, man. Then nobody have to deal with them ever again, man. All the nations be put back into their rightful places. In their rightful homelands. They'll be governed under the laws of Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, and they're going to rejoice, man, because they're going to be ruled in righteousness. And you're not going to have to worry about nobody, blackmailing them. You ain't going to have to worry about nobody, stealing your kids and raping them and murdering them and eating them. You ain't gonna have to worry about none of that. You ain't have to worry about interest rates raising up to the point where you're starving. You know what I'm saying? Everything's gonna be dealt with righteously through biblical law. And I can't wait for that day to happen, man. So with that being said, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, RawChaa, Qadash, and Abad Babal.